For me, I think that before you look into an B school, like what a B school has to offer, you should look into what a B school has to offer to you. And for my background and my aspirations, I have always believed that FMS would be the best choice for me. The thing is that your SOP is the main thing. Like if you get your SOP to the point that it is perfect, then there is no problem. The news came in I think in August or September that the CAT would be of 2 hours instead of 3 hours, and I wasn't able to cope with it. It just put me back to square one. At that time, I think I watched this show called Queen's Gambit, and that really boosted my confidence.
Okay. Hello, Ritobina. Welcome to Cracku interview series.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I really wanted to wear the Cracku t-shirt for this interview, but in between classes, so I have to
Okay.
wear the formals.
Okay.
Yeah,
First of all, a big congratulations on converting FMS Delhi.
thank you. It's been a huge journey.
Right. So, yeah, firstly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your education background, and then how you started your whole journey towards CAT preparation?
Yeah, so I did my electrical engineering from Vignacha Institute of Technology in 2019.
Okay.
And after my electrical engineering, I worked for Cognizant for past 23 months before joining FMS. So I've always been inclined towards the MBA role, and it was my aim to get a few years of work experience, then go for an MBA. So I was pretty determined from the start, and I started preparing during the April of 2020,
Okay.
and this CAT 2020 was my first attempt.
Okay, great.
The thing was that when I started preparation, the entire country was in lockdown, so
Right.
there were no physical classes, and even if there were physical classes, for me, I was working at that time full time, and to attend those was pretty impossible. So I learned about Cracku from a senior of mine.
Okay.
He also used Cracku, and he got around like 99.6 percentile, and I was like, he said me that the Cracku really helped him, and I went for the Cracku. I think the full complete package was there, and it was really helpful because I could watch the videos on my time and give the test. And I think for my basic preparation strategy, I in the morning I would watch the videos, and
Right.
in the night I would, after work, I would just focus on the tests and series and everything else.
Great. So, firstly, let us discuss about your CAT preparation. So, can you tell us how you prepared for each section and what was your strategy in each of the three sections?
uh, I I think I should start with LRDI.
Sure.
For me, I found LRDI pretty easy because I always had this knack of solving quizzes. Like you can see some of those quizzes on YouTube, I guess, Einstein puzzles and everything. And Cracku already had a entire range of all those videos,
Right.
and it was pretty easy for me. So I think that one I had it easy, and I just practiced and practiced, and it got better. And for RC, I think I struggled a little bit, and I think that one thing that really helped me was that something that Sally Kale ma'am helped, that whenever you're reading something, write it down, a few points of the entire passage, and that would help you to summarize the entire uh,
Right. Yes.
comprehension that is given to us, and that really helped. And for maths, again, it was all practice and practice. For maths and LRD, it's pretty much practice, and for RC, it was that. And also for RC, like we have to practice reading fast. Like so,
Right.
read more would be another suggestion from me.
Right. So, how many mocks did you give and what was your mock analyzing strategy?
I think overall I gave around 30 mocks
Okay.
because I focused mostly on the mocks, and I just uh, mm, like less on practicing and more on mocks, because for the mocks you need to manage the time, because time management is very important. It's not because if we given a 4 hour or 5 hours, I think every one of us can solve the entire paper.
Right.
Yeah. And so for my mock analyzing strategy, it was that I would divide the entire section into different time frames. Like for example, I would say for this LRD I said I give myself 8 minutes or 10 minutes, and so their first analysis would be on the time, that whether I am able to reach that time frame, and
Right.
the second one was be on the accuracy, that whether I'm getting it accurate or not.
Right.
Because even if I sometimes get it something accurate, if I don't miss the time mark, I have already lost the case in the long run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. So, okay. So, what are some of the biggest mistakes you've done during your preparation, and what did you learn from them?
Like first of all would be, do not get overconfident. Like I was very comfortable with mathematics, choose to practice it less. Like some of those things like arithmetic and those were pretty basic things, so I thought that I would not need to practice that much. But
Right.
do not do that. If you do not practice, you won't meet the time deadline, trust me on that. And that cost me a lot, and that would be a huge mistake. Do not do that. Do not say ever for a moment think that you are confident.
So, what are the calls that you got, and which B schools offered you final admission? Why did you, and then why did you specifically choose FMS?
Like for I did get a lot of calls from I got the calls from Kozhikode, Shillong, and all the cap colleges. And I actually I did not apply for a lot of colleges like SPJN or MDI or IM Rotok. And yeah, like for me, I think that before you look into an B school, like what a B school has to offer, you should look into what a B school has to offer to you.
Right.
And for my background and my aspirations, I have always believed that FMS would be the best choice for me. So my my priority and my aim was getting into FMS. And when I got into FMS, nothing like that was enough. Like I did not even consider other choices.
Great.
For one thing is that like a lot of colleges focuses a lot on the background of the students, where FMS does not do that, and it gives equal chances to all to grow. And another thing is it's a student run campus, which is a very good thing, and we get to learn a lot from that. Those would be the primary things.
Great. Okay. So, now, how did you prepare for the personal interview and each stage of the interview process?
So after my CAT results, think I focus mostly on the newses, like getting all the recent news and every articles, uh, summarizing them daily on a notebook so that I have my every points ready. And also to focus on tell me about yourself and why MBA, this kind of basic questions.
Right.
And for the FMS interview, it actually takes part in three phases. You have one extempore, and then an SOP discussion, and then an interview. So my you have to submit the SOP on in December, that is before you get your CAT marks. So like your SOP has to be on point.
Okay.
And I think I spent a lot of time after CAT just to perfect those the SOP,
Okay.
and like go through multiple iterations. And because it's only 100 words and you have to get your entire story into it.
Okay.
Yeah. For extempore, I just there are few common topics for extempore, but most of the topics that come are abstract in nature. Or uh, for for abstract extempore, like you have to remember that you are given 10 seconds to think, so you have to maintain a fluent flow. That I think that what matters the most. And like I prepared a lot, but during my interview actually I had COVID. So
Okay.
uh, yeah, like I think that one good thing out of that was that I wasn't really that stressed, because I was already stressed about
Yeah. Right.
being sick at that time. I already had
Right.
fever, so I did not had any stress of the interview. But apart from that, I think I did not get to prepare first, like a couple of days before the interview. But till that time I had a lot of time to prepare, and I was pretty confident that that would work.
Great. So, okay, so can you tell us what kind of topics were discussed in the interview, and was there any specific question that took you by surprise, and how did you tackle that?
Not actually. Like I think my interview went pretty chill. Actually, because most of the topics, like all of the topics, I was pretty expecting them from the beginning, and they were pretty.
Okay.
All of the topics I knew something about. Like there were few current topics, but I was already following them up on. And the thing is that your SOP is the main thing. Like if you get your SOP is to the point that it is perfect, then there is no problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
like my even my extempore came from my SOP. So uh, get your SOP done, right?
Right.
It's the same panel. There will be the same panel. They would give you they will start with the extempore and then move on to your SOP, a little
Okay.
bit about yourself, and then to the main interview.
Great. Okay, so was there any stage during your preparation where you got very demotivated, and if yes, how did you handle that?
Yeah, I think the first stage that when I was really demotivated was when the news came in I think in August, or I think in August or September, that the cat would be of 2 hours instead of 3 hours. And
Okay. Right.
my entire, like time schedule that I had for each section, everything got like cancelled. And it was a very big blow to me, because I wasn't
Right.
able to meet the different time frames and the timings, and I wasn't able to cope with it. And I gave the first mocks. I think like Cracku released the mocks really soon for the 2 hours exams, and I gave that mocks, but it wasn't up to my mark, and that really demotivated me.
Okay.
That it just put me back to square one. One thing is that when I was back at square one, I kept reminding myself that I have been to this situation a few months ago also, and if I have overcome that, then I can overcome this too. And that helped me a lot. And it's just taking one step at a day that I have to overcome. And I another blow that came me was during November, a few months before my the CAT examination. My workload got like increased a lot, and I barely had any time to focus on CAT. And at that time, I think I watched this show called Queen's Gambit, and
Okay.
that really boosted my confidence. Like it's a fictional show, but the protagonist is very confident, and she actually wins after all. And I, even though it's a fictional show, I just, like, from that moment I just kept myself that yeah, I can do it, I can do it, if I can do it. And that worked.
Great. So finally, what are some tips that you would like to give the future CAT aspirants and also for those who are, targeting FMS?
First and foremost would be get your SOP right. Like that is the main thing. Second one would be for each sectional. I think I already told that for the VRC section, start like follow Sally Kalemam's tips. Like start writing down a few points and then start working from it. Like that really helped me a lot. It helped me more than reading and rereading thing. And for LRDI and one section, practice. Like don't ever for a single day think that okay, I can do this, I'm really good at this section, I will be able to do this, so I can stop practicing it. Never do that. Don't repeat my mistakes. And for all over, like for in general tips, like do not take that much stress.
Right.
I believe that if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's not that difficult. Just stay focused and work hard.
Perfect. So thanks a lot, Ritobina. Thank you so much for giving us some very valuable tips, and all the best to your journey to FMS.
Thank you so much.